Hey everyone! What's better than eating an Indian spiced egg curry in winter? Eggs are best for some warm, nice and hot curry. Delicious. So let's get this recipe going. Let's look at all the ingredients we need. First, 2 large eggs or 3 small ones. Next, we need these beautifully ripe Roma tomatoes. So basically any kind of ripe tomatoes are needed. Red onion. We'll need some garlic. Green chilies to your liking. Of course, some fresh cilantro and a little bit of ginger. I normally blend the ginger, green chilies and garlic in a blender. Then in the same blender, I blend the tomatoes and onions and I keep everything separate because you're adding it at different points. Next, we'll use some curry leaves. It's optional. Bread. Why is my bread packed like this? I didn't have any bread left that morning, so I permanently borrowed some from my neighbor. Spices we need. Homemade garam masala. You can use everyday red pepper that you use in cooking or degi mirch. I like the color provided by the degi mirch. Some salt is needed. And this here has my chaat masala. A little bit left in there. Gonna use that up today. Lastly, we will need freshly cracked black pepper. Okay, moving on. Normally I use this little handy dandy blender of mine to blend the garlic, ginger and green chilies. I needed to measure my ingredients for this recipe. So I went ahead and grated the ginger, which is 1/4 teaspoon. And we are using 1 1/2 teaspoons of garlic. But otherwise, you should just blend the ginger, garlic and green chilies. It's the easiest. I'm only using 2 green chilies today, but it's up to you on what you want. After blending the green chilies, I pureed the tomatoes, 3/4 cup of them. And then we also need 1/3 cup of pureed red onions. Pureeing the tomatoes and onions will ensure you have a smooth gravy. You can finely chop them too if you like. These are the 2 green chilies that I've blended. And here's the garlic and ginger that I really should have mixed with the green chilies at this point. You will see why I'm saying that later. Need some oil. Next is 1/4 cup of chopped cilantro. Let's see. This is a huge egg. It's my egg cooker that I've used to cook my eggs in the microwave. But you can just boil your eggs in water. So it just goes like this. You place the water in the bottom. Place the eggs on top of it. Close the lid and microwave for about 10 minutes. Here are the curry leaves that I have washed. Okay, let's mix the spices in a bowl. 1/2 teaspoon of salt, of course, to taste. 1/2 teaspoon chaat masala. 1/2 to 2 teaspoons of red pepper, depends on you. I'm using 1/8 teaspoon of garam masala. It's homemade, so I don't need so much. If you are using store-bought, use little extra. Some freshly cracked black pepper. Our spice mixture is ready. So let's get this going. I already have a teaspoon of ghee in our non-stick pan. I always prefer to use ghee over butter, but you can definitely add butter. Let's fire up the stove, lower the heat, add our oil, and once the oil is heated, add curry leaves and let them splutter. Be ready to add the blended green chilies. You need to add the garlic and ginger at this time too. Because I always have the ginger, garlic and chilies blended together, it slipped out of my mind to add the ginger and garlic. Add pureed red onion and up the heat a little. Keep stirring the onions as needed. Don't let them burn. Meanwhile, it's a good time to peel your eggs. Keep cooking the onions until the water has evaporated. You cannot rush these steps. You have to go in order. Then we will add the tomato puree. Mix it well. And this is when I remembered the ginger and garlic. So, I forgot to add it, but you can't just add the ginger and garlic, which is uncooked, to the tomatoes at this point. It won't taste same. So, I'm going to saute the grated ginger and garlic in a non-stick pan with little oil for a couple minutes. Use little tomato onion mixture if your garlic starts burning so that you can cook the garlic ginger a little longer. Saute this mixture for 3 minutes or so until fragrant. Now that the ginger garlic is cooked, we can add it to the tomato onion mixture. Here's our spice mixture. I'm going to go ahead and add it. Mix it well. I usually like to add garam masala at the end, but today added everything together. What I do if I add the garam masala earlier in the recipe, then I just sprinkle just a tiny bit of garam masala right before turning off the stove once the eggs are added in the last step. Okay, you must cook the tomatoes down until they are dry. Keep stirring to prevent them from sticking to the bottom. When you move the tomatoes using your spatula, they should stay in place. I just want to show you how beautiful this mixture looks. And it's nice and thick as well. Tomatoes have cooked properly. Next step, time to add some hot water to it. I used about a cup of water in this recipe. My suggestion to you is that you add little hot water, mix it, and then add more water as needed if the gravy is thick. You should stop at this step if you are making this ahead. So when I'm serving it to the guest in the morning, right, I'll make it until this point and then keep it in the fridge if I'm making it the night before. If I'm just making it before they came, then I would just leave it room temp for an hour. But stop at this point if you're not enjoying it right away. Give it a taste and adjust the salt and red pepper at this time. Now while the mixture is heating up on low heat, we are going to go ahead and grate our eggs using a large hole grater, not a fine grater, you guys. Add the chopped cilantro leaves to our tomato onion gravy. Mix it in. I switched to a smaller pan for the final step as I needed a better shot of the final curry. Add grated eggs and mix. As soon as you add the eggs, it will soak up all the water. So add a little more hot water to adjust the consistency. This would be the time when you would sprinkle the tiniest amount of garam masala and a little more black pepper if you like. Heat the mixture for 1 minute, turn off the stove, and it's ready to be enjoyed. Until next time, take care.